Good afternoon, and thank you for this rather strange and certainly unique opportunity to speak for 5 minutes. David Nabarro this morning mentioned that the future lies in networks, partnerships, and movements. And he also said it's time for us to tell the stories of what's going on around the world. So I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about a network partnership that we are creating in South Africa, and I would love to speak with people who have similar experiences afterwards. We started about a year and a half ago the South African, what is now called the South African Food Lab, and it really involves a journey of learning for people that are very committed to food security and sustainability in the South and Southern African food system. We started with an academic review of the literature on food security in the region, and quickly came to the conclusion that we are dealing with a very complex, or as it's nowadays called, wicked problem, and that we needed to use a different kind of approach to address it. So we created a multi-stakeholder process, and with support from the German Development Agency, we created a steering group and started this process. Very important for us, as we've learned, is that excellent facilitation is absolutely critical to make sure that these processes are not just one-off events, but actually become processes of meaning for those who participate and ultimately for what happens afterwards. We started with a strong focus on framing the problem and of creating a shared understanding of what the problem is. And I think this is a topic that's come up many times. And we think that it's really important to spend enough time for people from very different parts of the food system to begin to understand the problem, at least in a similar way, if not exactly in the same way. And in this process, of course, we used academic research as an input, but that was not our only source of information. We also conducted in-depth interviews to get different perspectives into the room, synthesized these, and then took people on learning journeys so that they could actually experience firsthand the nature of the problem. And we focused on the two ends of the food value chain, of the primary producers and the consumers, because we recognize that those are, in spite of their importance, the ones that get the least airtime and the least understanding of what's going on at those edges. We then had a workshop in which we jointly identified what are some of the really stuck issues that if we work together on them in a multi-sectoral way, we might be able to make some breakthroughs. So now we have a number of teams working on innovations, on primary production, and on the consumers. And we've also started a process of creating a national conversation around issues of food security. I just want to close by saying we are now at the University of Stellenbosch, where we are, where the lab is now based, starting to also build stronger links between ongoing academic research in food security and the lab, which is more a multi-sectoral process. I am very interested in exploring how to evaluate initiatives like this, and so I would very much welcome conversations with others with similar interests. Thank you.